a.m. This is Panic and Rehab's afternoon news update. Today's Wednesday, April 8th, 26. Well, it appears that Iran blinked last night. They waited until the last hour on the 10th day to agree to open the straits of Hormuz. President Trump declares extending the ceasefire 10 days so they can stamp out a peace accord. Now, in the morning, liberal media reports that Trump agreed to Iran's 10 demands, which wasn't true. Don't fall for it. That was false reporting by a couple of networks. Um, and I'll tell you, a lot of people need to write letters to those networks, to their advertisers, complaining of false reporting. Now, so let's see. The Straits of Hormuz, that's the little waterway that goes around that extension that's between Qatar and another country, UAE and Qatar, I think, on the left-hand side. Iran's on the right-hand side. And as you can see, it's very mountainous on the Iran side. Now, that's the Strait of Hormuz. Um, now, Iran agreed to open that so ships could freely start traveling through that strait. Unfortunately, by this afternoon, it's already closed. So that peace accord has, or let's see, that was Oman. Yeah, Oman on that. All right. And UAE and Oman on either side of that. So, yeah, unfortunately, the straits are closed per Iran. Now, Trump is very upset about that, said that closing the straits is unacceptable. And Iran is citing that Israel bombed Lebanon, and that was having a ceasefire with Israel bombing Lebanon was unacceptable. So that had nothing to do with the peace accord. So he did send out his peace team again to Pakistan, and they're still trying to hammer out a peace deal. So as of right now, there's been no retribution by U.S. forces. California fraud concerns. Uh, California fraud concerns are on the rise. Paul Richard Randall, 66, of Orange, California, pleaded guilty to stealing more than $447 million from Medi-Cal and from Medicaid drugs. He stole 269 million from Medi-Cal and 178 million from Medicaid for very expensive drugs that were not provided. He did plead guilty to the charges, and and everyone is asking themselves, how can a person submit, almost a $500 million in fraudulent claims in under a year and actually obtain the money? So there's lots of questions going on right now. This is uh, Governor Gavin Newsom's empire fraud. Journalist Christopher Refro posted, and California Rep Kevin Kiley stated California is, without a doubt, the fraud capital of the United States. And that's a real shame. Also, in the sports, Minnesota, let's see, Minnesota High School, um, Chapin Park is going to be allowing the trans pitcher to play this year. The 6'5" trans pitcher says it's looking forward to throwing 102-mile-an-hour underhand fastballs, and that this year that the trans pitcher will be sporting some new face gear, so it kind of looks like a beard. I don't know. You tell me. Well, we've got some good news for southern states. It's called the Boom Belt. Southern states are called the Boom Belt because they've been collecting the Billionaire Club. So I guess there's a Billionaires Boys Club, and they're all moving to the Boom Belt. So the Boom Belt states are collecting trillions of money and wealth as the richest flee liberal states that have made it too expensive to live there. Florida has collected over 20 billion, Texas 5.5 billion, South Carolina 4.1 billion, North Carolina 3.9 billion, Arizona 2.8 billion, Tennessee 2.8 billion. And and the club just seems to keep growing. Now we want to thank, because I live in Central Florida, I want to thank the Illinois Governor Pritzker and Massachusetts Governor Healy and New York Governor Hochul and Virginia Governor Spanberger and California Governor Newsom and Washington State Governor Ferguson, because those billionaires, they just don't relocate with a suitcase. They bring their toys. So look at this guy. He brought a jet that he landed in the water next to his yacht. That's because he's so rich, right there. And he probably grounded his yacht, so he doesn't care. He'll just buy another one. That's how rich they are. This guy brought his helicopter. Look at this. So this guy's so rich, he's got a helicopter that comes in and lands on top of the ship. That's unbelievable. Look at this guy. This guy's got a private jet that lands on the dock while his boat's docking, so he can get out of his jet, walk over and get over into his yacht. Unbelievable, huh? Well, we want to thank you, Pritzker. I mean, I guess they could have been boating up in Chicago there in Illinois, but I'd rather have them here in Miami. So, how about this? This is the best of all worlds. This guy has a one, two, three, four, five floor jet or 5 floor yacht. He's got he's got his own world, a moon up on top of it, and his own private helicopter that's going to land on it. Holy cow! And each one of these yachts, they have stewardesses that help them with food preparation, food service, clean the rooms. You know, not bad, not bad, boys club. Where can I get a shirt? Do you have to actually be a billionaire to get a boys club T-shirt? Well, keep taxing the rich, and the rich will move to Florida. So thank you. And listen, don't take the news too seriously. You know, enjoy your evening. Don't worry about Iran. We're in total control over there. We have complete air support. We have complete air dominance of Iran. And anyway, don't worry too much about it. It'll get straightened out in a few weeks. Have a good afternoon.